National Morse code signal, the call for help, and we need some help this morning trying to see what all happened 2 days ago. We still don't know what happened. The program is Gilbert Talks Taxes. The radio station is WCAB AM 590, FM 100.9. That we do know. So we can stand on that. The internet is www.wcab59.com. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gilbert Carmona. I'm an enrolled agent. An enrolled agent is a person that's supposed to know about tax law, but they seem to be making it up as they go along these days, so it's hard to know. It's hard to know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know. I am a tax specialist. I do tax preparation, tax issue resolution, and financial planning, all kinds of things. We've been here. I've been in the studio about 20 minutes this morning trying to sort out all the conflicting information that we're getting, and I'm going to talk about at least what I know and tell you what I don't know. So if you need to get me, my telephone number is 828-289-9300. My email address, gilbert@gilberttalkstaxes.com. And if you've tried to reach me and haven't gotten back to you, just hold on. It's a long list right now, this time of the year. So I'm going to talk about the deadline, the Monday deadline for businesses, LLC sub-S election, and I'm going to talk about the April 15th deadline that we have coming up. If you have a question, a specific question, feel free to call the studio here and ask your question. One of my able-bodied assistants has a crayon ready to write on, because I'm not allowed to have sharp objects this morning. No pens, no pencils. I'm going through these notes so fast. They're ready to write down your question, bring it to me, and if I can answer it on the air. If your question is, when am I going to get my stimulus payment? The answer is, we don't know. So that's the answer to that. We just don't know. So the bill was signed. Congress put the bill through on, there was some conflicting things. So last week, the Congress approved it, sent it to the Senate. And Todd, my engineer this morning, good morning, Todd. Feel free to jump in here and help me with any of this. So, because you know the timeline, you and I have talked, Todd and I talked during the week and things about this, is because we just think this is so interesting, this whole tax thing going on. So Congress sent it to the Senate. The Senate sent it back to Congress because the Senate didn't want $15 an hour minimum wage in there. For whatever reason, they didn't want that. Like, that's even a thing anymore. I mean, if you're not, any job right now is paying. There's a labor shortage. Any decent job right now is paying a decent wage. I mean, if not at 15, close to it. You can't, jobs here in the county, they're advertising at $16, $17 an hour. Entry level in manufacturing. So, and that's still going on. So they're all still in much need. So $12, $13 an hour seems to be the going rate. If a $10, $11 an hour job is pretty entry level for somebody with little or no skills. So they kicked it back, $15 an hour. They didn't want it. So Congress quickly put a Band-Aid on that and sent it right back to Senate. They signed it, and it was a razor-thin margin. Well, no, it was a partisan split, right? 50-50. And the vice president, however you want to pronounce her name, signed it and sent it on to what's his name, and he signed it. And he signed it on March 11th, right? Now, I'm hearing reports that people are already getting back their stimuluses. I'm getting information from the IRS that this is all going to start Monday, is what they're telling us. And actually, what I'm getting, and this is IRS.gov, talks about the American Citizen Coronavirus Relief Act, which includes stimulus payment EIP 3 to eligible taxpayers. Okay, so let me lay out the groundwork real quick, and I'm sure the news is beating this into the ground. I don't want to really just repeat what everybody else is repeating, but I know there are people that are not listening to the mainstream media anymore. They've had it. I've had people in my office say they're not even turning the TV on and putting it to the news. It's just so bad. Individuals making $75,000 or less and their dependents each would receive checks of $1,400 each. Okay, now I want to stop right there because I've got to give my opinion. You know, I'm shy about sharing my opinion, Todd. Yeah. So, okay. So, $1,400. Was it not just a couple of years ago that Nancy Pelosi called $2,000 crumbs? Insignificant money and an insult to people that would even be offered up. Did she not say that? It seems to me I did like whole shows about that. Her talking about insignificant crumbs, $2,000. This didn't even make insignificant crumb status. This is $1,400. Okay, fine. Let's move past that. $1,400. The payments decrease gradually for individuals earning above $75,000. Now, let me stop there. I mean, I could probably do a whole show on just this email. Let me just stop there. I was just in California recently and met some wonderful people, by the way. For all the things we on this side of the country say about people on that side of the country, I met some just fantastic people. Really just neat people. And hopefully I've made some relationships there that I hope to continue. They're just great people. But there was a pizzeria, and the owner of the pizzeria said his wait staff, his waiters and waitresses, his wait staff are making over $100,000 a year. He was telling me that he has wait staff taking home more money than he does. And they cannot find a place to live because rent is so expensive. But anyway, so the payments decrease gradually for individuals earning over $75,000 a year. So those waitresses wouldn't qualify for this $1,400. I mean, stop and think about that for a minute. Waitresses that are over that, not just waitresses, I mean, people there, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, from what I'm being told, from the people I met, and this was in Los Angeles. Okay, so specifically Los Angeles. California is a gigantic state. I mean, if it was a country, it would be a big country. So there's a lot of people that live there, and I know the income is spread out over many different regions, but this is Los Angeles. So, okay, 75,000. And they phase out completely. I should have read the whole sentence. And they phase out completely for individuals making $80,000 or more. That's a change from the prior income cap of $100,000. So Trump's income cap was $100,000, and they made a big deal about that. Now, by the way, that's individuals, couples who file taxes jointly and earn $150,000 or less a year, and their dependents each will get the full $1,400. So married filing joint, $150,000 or less, you're going to get the full $1,400. Otherwise, there's a phase out between $150,000 and $160,000, and you're going to get zero at $160,000. Okay, whereas before it was $200,000. So they've significantly lowered the cap. Okay, so fine. So let's say you're making less than that, you're going to get $1,400 each. Head of household, let's not forget them. Head of household filers, which are typically your single parents, would see a phase out starting above the income level of $112,500 and no payments between $120,000. Okay, I'm sorry, no payments at $120,000, it was $150,000 before. So they've significantly lowered it, but they're giving more money. Last time it was $1,200 and $500 per dependent. I'm talking about the first stimulus. This one is $1,400 and $1,400. That's it. $1,400 across the board for all your dependents. Now, not only is it for all your dependents, it's for all of your dependents regardless of their age. Remember last time we had that whole little thing with whether they were 16 or under, 16 or under, and then it's under 18. Well, yeah, that would be 16 and under. So 16 and under, and there was that whole thing. Well, this one goes to everybody. So the third stimulus payment is going to be larger for most people. Most families are going to get the $1,400 per person. Again, this is irs.gov I'm reading to you, including all dependents claimed on their tax return typically. So a single person with no dependents is going to get $1,400. A family of four, Todd, is going to get $5,600. Okay? Unlike the first two payments, the third stimulus payment is not restricted to children under 17. Eligible families will get a payment based on all of their qualifying dependents claimed on their return, including older relatives like college students, adults with disabilities, parents, and grandparents. Okay, so the only people left out of this that I'm seeing are still people that have ITINs. Those are typically undocumented workers that are in this country that have to file a tax return, who use what's called an ITIN, an individual taxpayer ID number. It is just like a Social Security number. It's a 9-digit number, Social Security number, but it starts with a 9. Okay, it does not start with any other number. All ITINs start with 9. So people who have ITINs on their tax return are not going to get the stimulus. Now, if one taxpayer, so couple filing joint, spouse has a conventional Social Security number, spouse has an ITIN, married filing joint, all the people on that tax return that have a social will get the money. Okay, the first stimulus, if anybody on that tax return, anybody had an ITIN, nobody got it. So they fixed that with the second one, and those people are now eligible to file a tax return and fix that. And they are getting that money. Supposedly, they're getting that money. So that's a change up from that. But it raises the question of, okay, so let's say you do have two parents with ITINs, undocumented workers, but they've got dependents that were born in this country and have socials. Those dependents are not going to get it. And why, we don't know. The question's been asked. We don't know. Okay. So have I explained it, Todd, enough? I'm in keeping with what's being said, right? Okay, now the timeline of when this is going to happen. Supposedly, according to media reports, people are already getting this money. It's already showing up in people's bank accounts. Okay, it's not supposed to start happening yet, but hey, somebody over there at the IRS pulled the trigger on it, and it's happening. So fantastic. If you're already getting it, there's supposed to be Monday is when they're going to update the EIP tool at irs.gov. That is irs.gov. Click on the link, something coronavirus something. There's a link there. You click on it, and it takes you to another link. Says get my payment. You click on get my payment, and it's supposed to give you your information. Now, the big question is, what if I changed my bank account? What if the IRS doesn't have my bank account? What if? How can I advise? What if I moved? How do I advise them of changes? As of yesterday at 8 o'clock at night, when I was on IRS.gov pulling this all together, there was no way to do that. Then they don't have a plan to do that. They're saying right now, and I have that right here. So this was last night. See Todd right here, 8:28 p.m. right here, irs.gov. Those of you live streaming, I am shaking that piece of paper right here. This is the latest information from the IRS. So the IRS is being emphatic about no action is needed by most taxpayers. The payment will be automatic. In many cases, similar to how people received or didn't receive the first and second round of economic impact payments in 2020. People can check the Get My Payment tool on the irs.gov on Monday to see the payment status for the third stimulus payment. Even though they're quoting Chuck Reddick now, IRS commissioner. I like how it went from Charles to Chuck, because he's the one handing out the money. All of a sudden it's Chuck. Even though the tax season is in full swing, IRS employees again worked around the clock. I find that hard to believe. Worked around the clock to quickly deliver help to millions of Americans. Well, maybe I do need to believe it because people are getting their money already. Millions of Americans struggling to cope with this historic pandemic. This payment will be delivered automatically to taxpayers even as the IRS continues delivering regular tax refunds. We urge people to visit irs.gov for the latest details on the stimulus payments under new tax law provisions and tax season updates. So again, there's a whole paragraph saying you don't need to do anything, okay? If you received a check last time, you'll receive a check this time. If you had direct deposit, you'll get direct deposit this time. And if you had a prepaid debit card, they were calling it the EIP card, they're not going to add money to your existing card. They're going to send you a new card, supposedly right now. That's what they're saying. And then under the new law, and this is the thing that I think is the most important thing in all of this, under the new law, the EIP 3 cannot offset past due federal debt or back taxes, which was a concern because when you do it on your tax return, like people that didn't get it the first time or the second time, and the IRS said, okay, do it on your tax return. So if you owe the IRS money, it takes that money, from this credit. So like my business people that owe money every year, they owe money, they have a business, and it's whatever, it is what it is, they say. They pay the money. So if they didn't get, let's say they didn't get stimulus number 2, because a lot of people, there are millions of people that didn't get it. And the IRS won't give an exact number of how many that millions is, but it's millions that didn't get it. And if you owed, let's say you owed $1,800 and your family of 3, you're getting $1,800, they took the $1,800 to pay your tax bill. And that's that. And most people are happy with that. They're like, I owe it anyway. I'm going to have to pay it one way or another. Might as well take it now. This is bypassing that, just like the first one did. The first one, if you had child support or student loans or whatever, past due taxes, and they were taking your money, traffic tickets in Illinois and some other states, they actually take your refund for traffic tickets and small claims court and all kinds of craziness like that. It's crazy what they do, because it's not supposed to be that. This is a reconciliation of your tax return. But if you got any money, they'll take it. So they're not going to do that. They're going to circumvent that. Todd, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and I'm going to talk about, well, let's talk about the IRS Get My Refund tool and the bank accounts. Let's talk about that. I want to explain that one more time. And unemployment benefits. Let's talk about that. This is Gilbert Talks Taxes, WCAB AM 590, FM 100.9.
Hi there, this is Kimberly, and I'm here to tell you about Peterson's Auto Service and Detail Shop. As a woman, I'm often apprehensive about taking my car to a dirty service garage. But you can be assured that Peterson's, located at 478 Butler Road, Forest City, has an incredibly clean and safe environment where you get high-quality service at a great price. Peterson's was voted Rutherford County's best auto service 3 years in a row. So take your car to Peterson's for brakes, oil change, North Carolina inspection, tire rotation, headlight lens restoration, scratch removal, and meticulous auto detailing. That's Peterson's at 478 Butler Road, Forest City. You can call him for an appointment at 245-8889.
This is Gilbert. If you owe the IRS past due taxes, don't call those toll-free national numbers. Local, affordable help is right here in Rutherford County. Stop garnishments, levies, and liens. Call Gilbert Carmona at 828-289-9300. All initial consultations are free. Call Gilbert, 828-289-9300.
Back. That was the International Morse Code signal. Marks the start of We Are Back of this program. Because as we all know, taxation with representation hasn't been such a good idea either. And boy, it has not. And if you look at this piece of pork barrel that they rammed through Congress, it really is not. There is so much in here that we don't even know. There's stuff in here that we don't even know what it is yet. I'm getting industry emails and things where, you know, CPAs and tax attorneys and EAs like myself are they're seeing, and they're going, do you know that on page 842 it says this? And it's like, what do we do about that? It's just, it's incredible. It really is incredible. I am Gilbert Carmona. I'm an enrolled agent. An enrolled agent is a person enrolled with the IRS. We are tax specialists. The program is Gilbert Talks Taxes, and that seems to be, it's going to be Gilbert Talks Stimulus this morning. Although I don't want that to be the whole program. You could do a week's worth of shows on this. We are, those of you live streaming, www.wcab59.com. Good morning. Thank you for listening to me. And those of you that picked this up on my website, gilberttalkstaxes.com, and listen to it, Emily does a fine job of posting the audio of this on there. We don't have a video. We just post the audio. And it's interesting. People all over the country. I've gotten emails and phone calls and with questions and things. And thank you, for those of you that enjoy. This is what I do. This is me. I get up Saturday morning and I come here and I just share with you my week and what I do and who I talk to and the things that I see and the warnings that I have. And I've got major warnings about all of this. I just do. I started using the phrase, the only free cheese is in a trap, a year ago. It was March last year. I can't remember the show it was, but we found the show where I first said that. The only free cheese is in a trap. And this is a trap, folks. Congress has passed and what's his name has signed a $1.9 trillion China virus relief bill. Now, this came to me last night at about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock from the National Association of Enrolled Agents. Okay, so this is not me right now what I'm reading. Congress has passed and so has signed the $1.9 trillion relief bill. We are still waiting on an official summary from the Congressional Joint Committee on Taxation, the JTC. So we don't even know what's in this bill yet. We're still waiting on an official summary. Meanwhile, there is final statutory language, an official JTC revenue statement, and a summary of the bill. So we're just getting this. The newly enacted law provides, now this is the American Rescue Plan of 2021, which is not to be confused with the American Citizen Coronavirus Relief Act, which I guess is part of the other act. Todd just said it's taken me 15 minutes to say I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so an additional economic impact payment, a retroactive exclusion on unemployment insurance income, I'll talk about that, temporary changes to the earned income tax credit and child tax credit, extensions and modifications of dependent care assistant, credits for paid sick and family leave, extension and modifications of employee retention credit, a premium tax credit, a number of business and high income tax increases. Okay, let me read that one again. A number of business and high income tax increases. Okay? And I just read to you that they just lowered the cap on who gets the stimulus money. Okay, let's put those two together. They lowered the cap, and they're talking about high income. And I've said this for years. When they say we're going to tax the wealthy, everybody in their mind is envisioning vacationers on the French Riviera with private yachts and Rolls Royces that are going to be taxed more. But folks, that's not who's getting taxed more. Joe Biden said that he was going to tax people at $400,000 and over. But in the rollback of the tax of Trump's tax bill, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, if they roll that back, that's going to affect everybody. Because that affected every tax rate. So when they talk about high income, just know that high income is not millions. It's not 400,000. It's like 120,000, which a couple of a couple, a married filing joint couple that have decent jobs are making $100,000 a year. That's just the way it is now. I talked earlier about, I mean, you know, people making $40,000 and $50,000 a year is not that much anymore. You know, if you've got skilled labor, you're in management, or you have a tech job, nurses, you know, people like that. I mean, even school teachers. I mean, a couple of school teachers are making north of 70 and 80. So that is the target audience. It is not these millionaires, okay? So a number of business and high income tax increases, changes to various pension plans. In total, the tax changes in the larger budget bill totaled $583 billion. And we're going to see more about that. This new legislation, here's another, well, it doubled. Oh, it's like Senator Dirksen used to say, $1 billion here and $1 billion there, and pretty soon you're talking about real money. We're not even talking about millions anymore. We're not even talking about billions anymore. We're not talking about trillions. And it's just, they're flipping trillions. Okay, so let's get back to, and I'm going to talk about this, the unemployment insurance. So if you collected unemployment last year, and those of you that have already come to me and done your tax returns, we've already filed your tax return, or you filed your tax return period, your unemployment is taxable. $1 is taxable income. Okay, the new bill says the first $10,200 of the bill of that unemployment income, $10,200 is now tax free. Okay, so how do we do this? The IRS issued guidance yesterday saying do not. As a matter of fact, that is the very first sentence of their statement. I'm showing it to Todd here. The very first statement: do not file amended returns. They do not want to get 10 million amended tax returns right now. Do not file amended returns. Okay, the IRS has informed the National Association of Tax Preparers, of which I am a member, has informed them that it is reviewing implementation plans of the newly enacted American Rescue Plan Act. Additional information about the new round of impact payments, expanded child care tax credit, advance payments, tax provisions, everything I've talked about. The IRS strongly urges taxpayers not to file amended returns related to the new law until they pretty much know what they're doing. Because they don't right now. The IRS will provide taxpayers with additional guidance on those provisions. The big one being the $10,000, because if you're in a 10% tax bracket, or let's just say you're in a 12% tax bracket, you're in a 12% tax bracket, you paid $1,240 tax on this, $10,000, $10,200. Yeah, if you're in a 10% tax bracket, you paid $1,020.
Now, is this going back to last year's unemployment?
This is going back to last year's unemployment. Yes. Oh, was I not clear about this? This is retroactive. Oh, let me just stop a second. Let me back up. Retroactive. Todd is screaming "mo money" in the studio. Yes, Todd. That is why they don't want you to file an amended return. Okay, let me back up. American Rescue Plan. Okay, so they just passed this law on Thursday. On Friday, the IRS said, this is what we're going to do. So, when we did your 2020 tax return last year, 2020, a lot of people were unemployed because of the China virus. A lot of people did not have withholding. We said 80% of the people that collected unemployment nationwide, and I've been told it's a conservative number, but we were told 80%, we were told to get ready because 80% of the people coming into our office that were going to have that little 1099-G from the government telling you how much unemployment you collected, 80% of them were going to have no withholding, okay, because nobody withheld anything. So we did the tax return. It was taxable. People paid tax on it because you had no choice, and you move on. Other people withheld. They had the 10% withholding, the 5% withholding for the state. Now this tax law goes back to 2020. It goes back retroactive and says we're going to make the first $10,200 tax-free. So when you have around 100 million tax returns that have already been filed, because the bulk of the tax returns gets filed by March 15th. I mean, everybody wants their money. They want their refund. They're going to do that. And it was funny to hear an IRS revenue official, obviously somebody who's been in Washington, D.C. for way too long and is not out in the real world, wanted taxpayers to wait and not file their tax returns till like maybe they should extend and wait till like the middle of summer till they could figure all this out. I thought, really? You really think that for 1 minute? I mean, anyway, he really did. He really believed that people would do that. Maybe they just wait. No, nobody's going to wait. They're going to get into the first chance they could. We already had people in there end of January wanted to file their tax returns. And we do, and we want to file our tax return. The IRS strongly urges taxpayers do not file an amended return. Okay, so you paid, let's say you're in a 12% tax bracket. So 10% tax bracket, you paid $1,200 taxes on that money, okay? Effective tax rate 10 or 11%, you're talking around $1,200, okay? So how do you get that $1,200 back? Well, they're saying, please do not file an amended return. Just sit and wait. They are going to give us some guidance. Hopefully, it's going to come soon because people are going to start filing amended returns. They're not going to wait. They're not going to wait. They're not going to listen to the IRS. They're going to file amended tax returns. They're going to go on whatever website. And for all those people that use all those free tax preparation services, yeah, I want to see them all trying to file these amended returns now. Yeah, I know. Where's the only free cheese, Todd? In a trap. That's the only free cheese. The program is Gilbert Talks Taxes. Let's go ahead and take a break. Todd, I need one. WCAB AM 590 FM 100.9.
As we get ready for this year's tax season, there's one thought on everyone's mind. Will Gilbert's hair look fabulous this year? Oh, yes, it will. How can I say that? Because I go to Robin Saunders at RSL Salon. Whether it's a good haircut, a pedicure, or a manicure, you can count on RSL Salon. Call Robin at 828-289-9110 because everyone deserves to look fabulous. People come up to me and say, Gilbert, thank you for doing my tax return and thank you for getting me that big refund. Do you have any ideas what I can do with that refund? Oh, yes, I do. Take that refund right over to NC Tractor and Farm Supply, talk to Phil, get you a brand new shiny red Massey Ferguson. That's NC Tractor and Farm Supply, Railroad Avenue. You can call Phil at 828-429-5008. By the way, mention you heard it on Gilbert Talks Taxes. I'm hoping he'll give me a discount when I go buy my brand new shiny Massey Ferguson tractor.
We are back. Gilbert Talks Taxes, Gilbert Talks Stimulus Payments, Gilbert Talks IRS. Right here, WCAB AM 590 FM 100.9. Those of you live streaming and watching me, good morning. I have my vintage dragonfly tie on today. Little dragonflies on there. Sure enough. Little Hermes look going on. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And those of you that send me emails and tell me how much you enjoy the program, thank you so much for listening. If you need me, my telephone number is 828-289-9300. The email address, Gilbert Talks Taxes. You can always call the office. And I would love to prepare your tax return. I would love to help you with your financial problems. I do financial planning. I do advisory. We do IRAs. We help people with financial plans if you have pension plans or you no longer work at a place, but you had a 401k, a SEP, a simple, some kind of plan, a Roth IRA, traditional IRA, and you need help with that. I do that also. I can help you with that. all those consultations are free. We sit down and we look at what you have, and we take it from there. All plans are developed one-on-one. They are individualized, so I don't talk about that stuff on the radio program. I don't get into it because it is really one-on-one advice that I give for people. So the program, I pretty much stayed talking about taxes, but every financial decision you make is a tax decision, and that shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. I've said this over the years. People call me, I want to do this, I want to do that. Is it okay? Is it okay with the IRS if I do this? And I said, well, yeah, you do what you need to do to run your business. It's your business. I mean, they can't stop you, but the thing is that people are worried. I've seen people put a lot of really good ideas on hold because they're concerned about what the tax implication is, and they talk to me. They want to talk to me first and sit down and go over it and make sure it'll scrub. It'll scrub, as we say, with the IRS or what I can do. And then you have people, on the other hand, that don't do that, and then they come and they sold an asset or did something, and all of a sudden they have a 6-digit liability with the IRS. So you get in the other ditch, and the family says, you're not ever doing that again without talking to Gilbert. So, and it's not just talking to me, get you a financial planner, because every financial decision is a tax decision. These things go hand in hand. Again, it shouldn't be that way, but it's become that way. Talk about it, an invasive parasitic system that it's in every area of your life. And I mean, look at even this. They have to know what bank accounts you have. They have to know everything just to even get you this money. So, okay, let's get back to, I want to reiterate the point because we were talking about this during the break. Oh, wait, did I finish giving out my information? My telephone number, 828-289-9300. Because, Todd, you can't say that enough. You can't say 828-289-9300 enough. And you can't say Gilbert at GilbertTalksTaxes.com enough. So let me reiterate. We're talking about tax law that is going to go back to 2020, even though the 2020 filing season is almost over. There's 1 month left to this filing season, and they're making law changes that are going to go back to 2020. It's never been done before. As every year in December, I'll come on early. I'll start the program early. Now, I didn't last year because I ran the program all the way through October, but normally I will come back, or in years before, plus the holidays fell on Saturdays last year. So I just decided to start in January, but in prior years, I've started the program the last 2 weeks of December to talk about the extender tax laws, because they will make those. Congress will convene and meet and do those last tax law changes at the end of the year to make sure they got everything done and everything pushed through that they wanted to get pushed through, because there's a December 31st deadline. You got to get all that done. This is the first time ever that I am aware of that on March 11th, they're making tax law retroactive and affecting tax returns as we're preparing tax returns. The confusion with this is incredible. So what have I decided to do? I've just decided to just keep going on with what we're doing and just accepting IRS guidance as I get it. And people are already calling me. People were calling me yesterday. We need to amend our tax return so we can get this. They knew more about the tax law than I did. I'm like, until I get an email from the IRS, I'm not doing anything. And sure enough, at 8:28 p.m., I got my information. So it is retro. It is going back to last year. And there is a change to the child tax credit. That we haven't seen that one yet. So you're going to be getting the stimulus. You know it's coming. Okay, I've talked about that. I've beat that. Okay. The last time I'm going to say this. So the Get My Payment tool is going to be hot, updated on the IRS website Monday, March 15th. But right as of today, the IRS is not going to let you change your banking information on there or update your address on there. So it is what it is. If they have it, that's what they're going to use. Okay, let's move on from all of this, Todd. So, Todd, it took me 40 minutes to say, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Let's talk about what I do know about. The deadline date is Monday for businesses. LLC, S Corp, sub S groups that file an 1120S tax return. Your tax return is due Monday at midnight. I have to have those e-filed with the IRS. Partnerships, whether you're an LLC or not, you could be just a regular two guys in a van partnership. You file a 1065 tax return. That 1065 has to be filed by midnight, March 15th. Okay? And that is a hard deadline. It is not changing. Failure to file your tax return or extend your tax return, failure to do that is punishable by penalties and fines and interest on top of that, penalties and fines. Okay, and it is substantial. It is $205 a month per partner on a partnership, so it gets steep real fast. Failure to file your returns. Why is it so steep, and why is it due? Because those partnership tax returns and those S Corp election tax returns generate something called a K1, and the K1 is like a W-2 for the owners. It has all kinds of information on there that those owners need to file their tax returns. And the deadline for them is April 15th. And that has not changed as of now. Now, the National Association of Enrolled Agents, an association of which I'm a member of, is putting a lot of pressure, and I disagree with this. Okay, so I'm going to get this right out there. I disagree with this. I strongly disagree with this. They're putting pressure on Chuck Reddick, to the IRS commissioner, to change the April 15th filing date. Originally, they wanted it just to automatically extend everybody to October 15th. He said no. He said, you can just file an extension, and you can. It's free. Just file an extension. If you've got clients, if you're a tax preparer, you're a CPA, and Todd, you're not going to believe this. I've actually gotten phone calls, so I know this is true. There are CPAs and tax attorneys out there that listen to me because they've called me with questions. And you said on your show that, and can you? When I'm talking to them, I'm hearing phones ringing in the background. I'm like, and who are you? And it's the CPA up, like in Ohio or something that catches my blog, and he like, so great. So you're I'm talking to them sometimes. So you file if you're an individual. If you're filing yourself or if you're using some kind of software, just file an extension if you don't think you're going to do it. It just takes a few minutes to do it. File an extension. Well, they're pressuring the commissioner to extend the deadline. He said he does not see a need to do that because you can just file an extension. I mean, it's not a big deal, but they're really pressuring the guy. Now they want it to be May, and they're citing all this turmoil and everything happening and this new tax law and everything. I totally disagree with them. Why do I disagree with them? Because last year, all it did was the people that procrastinated, that call me April 13th and want me to file an extension, are the same people, the exact same people that called me June 15th. Or wait, I'm sorry, it was July 15th. They called me July 15th. It was the exact same people. And said, July 13th, sorry. And said, can you file an extension for me? And it was an extension till October. They didn't extend that, and they're not going to extend that because a lot of programming goes on at the IRS's computer for this. This is not just an easy thing. They've got to change major foundational stuff. So he's saying he does not want to do it. A couple of members of Congress have asked him to do it. Is he going to do it? There's no telling. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't put anything past him. But I wouldn't count on it because it's an unknown. So as of right now, the deadline for filing is April 15th. If you don't think you're going to be ready, if you've got an issue, whatever, you're worried about going outside, whatever your issue is, just pick up the phone and call me and say, file an extension for me. That's all I need is your phone call. And actually, next week, we start calling the people because we have a list of all our people. And the ones that are not in workflow yet, we start calling them. Because I start filing extensions like March 16th. I start filing extensions because there's people that they're just not going to be ready. Their business model, the things they do, especially my contractors, a lot of my landscapers, people that are very busy, very, very busy right now. And this is a very busy time of the year for them. We usually get together in the summer, late summer, when they're a little more, their schedules are more freed up. And that's when we wrap up their tax returns. It's not a problem. We can do it. If you extend your partnership or your LLC, which is, again, it's due Monday, so you can also extend by midnight on Monday, that extends it till September 15th. If you extend your personal, that extends it till October 15th. So now's the time, though, to go ahead and get a hold of it. Don't wait till April 13th. Please, just don't. You're better off just getting it over with now. And if you're not sure and you think it's a possibility, you may not do it, just go ahead and extend. You can still file your tax return early. It doesn't mean you have to wait. You can do it. Now, an extension to file is not an extension to pay. If you know you're going to pay, you think you're going to pay, you can go ahead and send them an estimated tax payment. It'll post to your account, and it's just like a withholding. It sits on there. If you don't know, or you just don't want to send money, fine, don't. There will be a penalty and interest from April 15th till the day they actually get it. If you owed, some people just would rather do that. And most people have a hold of that, though, especially the people that extend every year. It's pretty much, they know where they're going to be, or close enough for governmental accounting, as we say. Todd, let's take our last break. We have one more, right? Let's go ahead and take our last break. And I know Todd wants to tell me about what they're saying about this bill. He wants me to take this break. Gilbert Talks Taxes, WCAB AM 590, FM 100.9. I want to tell you about a little-known Rutherford County gem, Integrity Marble and Granite, located at 287 Shiloh Road in Forest City. They are the premier stone fabrication company in the western North Carolina region. They specialize in granite, marble, and natural stone, offering complete design and installation. Their design center and Kohler showroom features vanities, decorative accessories, bathroom, and kitchen fixtures. You do not have to go to Charlotte or Asheville for this kind of quality. We have it right here in Forest City. Stop in their showroom and browse their beautiful displays, or you can call 828-247-8801 for a free quote. You can also go to their website, www.integritymarblegranite.com, and look at the pictures and see samples of their available materials. Now, mention you heard it on Gilbert Talks Taxes, and they will give you $100 off any sink purchase. That's Integrity Marble and Granite.
Jesse James Railroad Express on your daily lunch list. He now has daily specials. Monday, get a hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions for 99 cents. Add slaw for 45 cents. Tuesday, the Carolina Express on a regular bun, any side, 16-ounce drink, $6.99 plus tax. Thursday, chicken salad croissant, any side with regular drink, $6.99 plus tax. Friday, 2 hot dogs, any way, bag of chips, 16-ounce drinks, $4.99 plus tax. A delicious lunch every day of the week. Only at Jesse James Railroad Express, open every day, 11 a.m. until 4. Closed Wednesday and Sunday. Call 828-447-4644 for takeout orders. Jesse James, located 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford. All aboard! Jesse James Railroad Express is now serving French fries and onion rings.
We are back. This is Gilbert Talks Taxes, WCAB AM 590, FM 100.9. Those of you live streaming the program, thank you so much. All I've got to say to you is all aboard. I got to say that after every Jesse commercial. So Jesse's supposed to have a new hood, by the way. Let's talk Gilbert Talks Jesse. Gilbert Talks Hot Dogs. He's got. Did he get it over there? Did he get the new hood going? It is. Well, we'll have to go over there and have some French fries for breakfast. French fries and onion rings now with those hot dogs. That is going to be unbelievable. He's got a new hood. But we are small town, aren't we? We're like all excited about Jesse having a new hood. I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. Well, I went there last Saturday and he was closed because he was installing his hood. So I said, "Oh, what's a little drywall dust? What? Get that thing opened up. Get them hot dogs going." Yeah, but no, he's got the new hood. Okay, great. Get over there today. Over to Jesse's. Those of you live streaming, www.wcab59.com. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Those of you that are going to pick this up later on either my blog at gilberttalkstaxes.com or you're going to pick it up through the internet, through YouTube. They pick it up later. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I hope I haven't been disparaging this morning. I really hope I haven't been. It's been a very just confusing situation. And so to get into this next topic, cryptocurrency. If there's ever been such a confusing topic, cryptocurrency. The IRS, and I'm reading the headline here. This is Daily Tax Report. The good people over there, Bloomberg Law, David Hood and Lydia O'Neill wrote a great story March 4th. IRS stance on crypto spurs confusion and relief in the tax profession. So let me just say this. Cryptocurrency, I know there's all this excitement about cryptocurrency, and it seems like everybody has their own cryptocurrency now. Facebook started cryptocurrency. Elon Musk started his own cryptocurrency. Some like blogger in San Francisco started his own cryptocurrency. It's everybody's got a cryptocurrency. There's 200 and something different cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrency is not the same. Well, wait, let me say it this way. Cryptocurrency is not the same as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. There are over, as far as I know, those of you out there that are more intelligent than me, don't like roll your eyes up at Gilbert. It's just, this is a big subject. As far as I know, there are over 200 cryptocurrencies. There may be 2,000, and at the rate it's going, there probably will be 2,000. So the IRS, it's a question on your tax return this year. The question is, did you buy or sell cryptocurrency in 2020? Yes or no? Okay. The IRS said that we should say no, we should answer no if all they did was purchase it. But wait, the question says, did you buy or sell? So it's the whole thing is very unclear, and there's a lot of confusion. What they're trying to do is, you hear all these stories about people that bought cryptocurrency at 2 cents a share, and today it's worth like $1 million a share. And while that is true of a few of the cryptocurrencies, that is not true across the board of all cryptocurrency. Because as a matter of fact, some cryptocurrency, you might have bought it for 2 cents a share, and today it's worth 3 cents a share. Okay, so yeah, Todd's like, well, hey, that's a 50%, that's a 100% increase there. I'll take that, you know. No, it's, yeah, well, great if you bought enough of it. If you bought like $1 million worth of it, and today it's worth 1.5 million, but most people didn't buy that much. So, and there are people investing tens of millions of dollars in this. Now, the position contradicts what the agency has told Americans more than a year ago when they started asking, did you receive, sell, send, exchange, or otherwise acquire, I like the otherwise, acquire any financial interest in any cryptocurrency? Okay, so they said, well, answered no. But now, if you answered no, but you did, there were going to be penalties. So people ask, well, okay, well, where are the penalties? Well, there are no penalties published right now for doing this. And what are the penalties, and what are about people that didn't understand? So the whole thing is just a confusing mess. But I'm bringing this up because we have to ask you. did you buy any cryptocurrency? And we get this really blank look on people's faces, and I'm just assuming that that's a no. When I get that blank look from you, it's just a no. But we have to ask, and I really feel stupid asking like an 85-year-old lady if she bought any cryptocurrency. Yeah, Todd, you never know. That's just the thing. I mean, she could just look at me and said, "Yeah, you know, I picked up 500,000 shares of Bitcoin last week." You never know. Some financial advisor may have told her to do that. And I'm not talking about cryptocurrency and what it is or if you should or shouldn't or whatever. I just wanted to address that because a lot of people look at me like, why are you bringing this up? We're bringing it up because the IRS wants us to bring it up. They want to know. We don't know why they want to know. I mean, we know why. They're trying to figure out how to track it. Because these people that bought it for 2 cents a share and are now selling it for millions a share, they've got capital gains tax. As a matter of fact, it's all capital gains tax. And they're going to have to pay tax on it. And right now, there is no mechanism for tracking it. None, zero, zip, zilch. Because this thing is so off the charts as to how it's even done and how it's being traded through the exchanges. And these exchanges are in other countries, and these servers, it could be here in the country, could not be in the country, the servers, and it's being done all across the internet at the speed of electricity, and the money's swapping hands faster than the IRS can track it. And ain't no one giving a 1099 on this, because the people that bought it don't want you to know, the people that sold it don't want you to know, and so on and so forth. So there is actually a state. I wasn't going to get into this, but there's actually one of the state agencies is now accepting you can make tax payments. I want to say it's Virginia, but I'm not sure. But one of the states is accepting tax payments in cryptocurrency. They're accepting cryptocurrency to pay your tax bill. So, and the average tax bill in that state, you know, state income tax is typically $500. So it's not a big deal. But it is a deal. So, how do I end this program, Todd? I don't know. How do I end this program? I don't know. If you need to get me, we've been having there have been a lot of deaths in this county. I've had a lot of estate returns. If you're an executor, please, I talked about this for about 4 weeks. I am going to get back on that topic in the next couple of weeks. As an executor, what do you do? You're responsible for the tax liabilities. You're responsible for the issues of the estate. It seems like I've never had this many estate tax returns and estate planning issues and problems. Most executors and trustees are ill-prepared. So this is an issue. This is a topic. It's more than I can get into here in an hour, but I am available for you. Give me a call, 828-289-9300. Send me an email, gilbert@gilberttalkstaxes.com. Feel free to stop by the office. There's just a lot going on. We've got conflicting tax law. We've just got conflicting everything. And this morning, you're going to give me the 1 minute. Give me my 1 minute. Give me my 1 minute finger there, Todd. This morning when I was really just praying, God, what do you want me to share with the people? Because I don't know. What do you want me to share with the people? I thought about, it got shared this week in church. There's a time and a season for everything. Ecclesiastes 3, to everything there is a season, a time, to every matter, to every purpose under heaven. There's a time to be born, there's a time to die, there's a time to plant, there's a time to pluck, there's a time to kill, there's a time to heal, there's a time to break down, there's a time to build up, there's a time to cry, there's a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance. There's a time to cast away stones, there's a time to gather stones. There's a time to embrace, there's a time to hold back from embracing. There's a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. There's a time to rend, there's a time to sow, there's a time to keep silence and a time to speak. There's a time to love, there's a time to hate, there's a time for war, and there's a time for peace. and what remains of all our work and all our toil. And the end of it says it all for me. Says it all. All has been heard. The end of the matter, fear God. Fear God. I just pray for the fear of God. Thank you for listening. WCAB AM 590 FM.